I am so glad that you've joined us today on His Radio. Stephen Curtis Chapman is here from his home in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
I'm curious, when you see a picture like this, with your mullet and your kids and your wife with the 80s hair, what goes through your mind?
Oh, just so many things. Why didn't, somebody who really loved me, stop me from doing that? But I guess they probably tried and I just didn't listen. I thought at the time, man, that's, I gotta say though. And then the other part of me thinks, okay, that's impressive. I don't care who you are. I mean, that kind of hair, if you're going to go big, go big or go home. And that's what I've always believed. So I went big, I went big, big mullet. You got to do it.
Yeah. I mean, you're making an impression. You're on stage, you're doing music, you're on the radio. This is like, was that 30 years ago?
Yeah, I know. Is that crazy? 35, 30, almost 35. Can you believe that? My first album came out in 1987, brother. So it was that next year will be 35 years from the first.
That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then you jumpstart from almost 35 years ago to 2017 when you're ready to see the solar eclipse and you make a whole new statement.
Yes, that is a very completely different statement. Wow. 2017, that was the big, yeah. And then of course my Snoopy shirt, which you gotta have, you gotta always gotta have my Snoopy shirt on. That is funny.
What was that like when you saw the solar eclipse? Because for me, it was just it was so different because it came through here as well. We could see it like at 2:15 in the afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy. I know. It was a wild thing. And of course, we had all our kids over in that picture. What I remember about that day was just a fun day to have everybody over and all have our glasses and, just make a memory together as a family.
Yeah, and how the temperature dropped.
Yeah.
And it seemed like everything stood still. The birds stopped chirping. It started to get dark and you could see with those lenses. It was better than a movie to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was a pretty wild experience. It kind of was one of those where you sort of, I don't know, for me, is thinking about, okay, all the things that scripture talks about when Jesus, returns and and just what's going to happen in the sky. And, we don't really know, and then even thinking about, what happened when Jesus was crucified and you read, the sky, it was like midnight and it got dark and, God controls just all of this he holds in the palm of his hand and we get so, accustomed to things just as they are. And suddenly this reminder that, oh, God can do whatever he wants to, this is all his creation. He moves the stars and the moon and the sun around. He can do whatever. And I think it was kind of a good reminder of that for me.
There was a time that you've met Billy Graham, probably umpteen many times when he was alive on this earth.
Yeah.
But there's one time in particular that your grandpa was with you.
Oh yeah.
With Billy Graham.
Wow. What a cool picture. Yes. That was one of the greatest moments. God has afforded me incredible opportunities and moments that a kid from Paducah, Kentucky should have never, ever imagined having. And that was one of them when my, probably one of the biggest fans, if I can use that word, of Billy Graham on the planet was my grandfather, Rubel Rudd, my mom's dad. And when I first, in fact, they were some of the first people I remember telling when I got to be with Billy Graham for the first time. And that would have been years before this, back actually in the mullet days. Cause I remember the first thing they said was, when they knew I was going to be with Billy Graham, they asked if I was going to get a haircut for that, cause that was very important, to them, that I would, go with my haircut. And I have this picture that shows up often from one of the Billy Graham classics that they show sometimes on television of some of his older crusades. And it was when I had the mullet and when Billy Graham was younger. But one of the great moments of my many incredible moments was getting to do that gathering with Billy Graham in Nashville, Tennessee. And I had my grandpa Rubel Rudd, Grandpa Rudd, and my grandma come. And he had been in a wheelchair. You can sort of see it there in the picture. But he stood for that. He's like, I am going to stand to meet this great hero of the faith, Billy Graham. And it was very, very special moment for me to get to introduce the two of them.
Sounds like Grandpa Rudd was really important and special to you.
Yeah, he really was. He was just, he was one of those men that didn't say a lot. I can't remember, the profound, incredible things that he said. It was his life. It was his presence. He was a quiet man of deep faith, and that marked my life. Just knowing his faith and in his presence. My brother and I would go spend weekends often with my grandpa and grandma Rudd, and I'd see him reading his Bible. He was kind. There was just kind of a kindness and a calm about him that I was really drawn to, and just thankful, he was always mentioning that he was praying for me, especially, as my career and things started to take off and get busy. So I just loved and appreciated his faithfulness.
Father's Day is important. You got a lot of kids. Seems like a litter of kids now.
Yeah. And grandkids now.
And grandkids, right?
That's crazy. Six grand youngins. And, of course, our six kids have one, with Jesus, but the rest of them are all within about 5 miles of us. Well,
oh, that's good.
Our grandkids are now our two daughters, Shoei and Stevie Joy, are in Alabama. So they're about 3.5 hours away from us now. But yeah, lots and lots to celebrate there.
How special was this present of sneakers with Snoopy on them?
That was pretty special. Once again, Charlie Brown showing up. The Peanuts gang show up often in my life, in my wardrobe, particularly T-shirts and in this case tennis shoes. Very special gift from my kids. I think that was accompanied with a T-shirt and a hat. Maybe I think I got all three. It's pretty special.
I love that there's good grief on each shoe, on the tongue of the shoes.
Yes.
That is great. You're coming in concert, which is so good. Spartanburg, South Carolina at First Baptist Church, Mac Powell is going to be with you. And then when you're in Fayetteville at the Village Baptist Church, it's you. But this is going to be such a special evening when you come to town. Yeah.
Well, I mean, on so many levels, I am so thankful to be back getting to do concerts again. I know these last couple of years now, year and a half, has been devastating on so many levels. It has certainly been, so hard on us that do music and concerts and gatherings, as part of just what we do and who we are. And to have that taken away for a season has been so difficult. And, the saying that, you don't know what you got until it's gone is so true. And to not be able to, to play these songs and to gather together has really been hard. And I'm so thankful and so excited to get to just gather and celebrate and remember. I feel like I've had this conversation going on for almost, like I said, 35 years now. And the albums, the songs that I write, and then the concerts are kind of the ultimate, conversation with the people that have listened to my music for all these years that you guys have played, there at His Radio, and to come together in a room and get to have that conversation with my friends encourages me. Hopefully, it's encouraging, those that are there. That's my prayer and hope. And I know that's why Mac and I are so excited. We feel like there's never been a time when we've needed the encouragement, the reminders of the truth of God's promises and God's word. And so I'm so excited and thankful that I'm going to get an opportunity to do that, and to do it with one of my best buddies in the world. Mac Powell is as good as they get, not only as a friend, and as a buddy of mine, and but with new music. I love Mac's new music, his new songs, and excited that he's going to get a chance to share some new music with us. And I will certainly coerce him to sing some of our all-time third day favorites, and I'll sing some of those with him. So we're excited to just make it a very special night for the people that can be there.
One thing it looks like you're very excited about as well is a certain team.
2, 3, 4. I'm cheering for the Predators. Josie Forsberg, Subban, and Pecorini. I want to see them beat those flightless birds. So I'm gonna keep on cheering. Oh, I gotta keep on cheering for the Predators. Chorus 2.
Man, you guys, you're digging up all the goodies.
That's right.
Yeah, boy, yeah, that was when the Predators were making a run for the Stanley Cup.
Right.
So we got all in, the family. We got all excited. Of course, now we're cheering for the Titans. I may have to write another song for them, though, because they're needing some help, it sounds like right now. But mostly these days, I'm cheering for Roll Tide because I'm cheering for the cheerleader. My daughter, Stevie Joy, is a cheerleader for Alabama, for the University of Alabama. She was on the sidelines. She ran out on the Bryant Denny Stadium field this last Saturday on the 40-yard line. I have this incredible picture of my little 4'8" Stevie Joy standing on the 40-yard line of Alabama's football field, which is just incredible. And her holding up her sign and doing all of her cheering. So we are so excited for her. She ran out with the team. In fact, she was the first one to run out on the field because the cheerleaders lead. They run out with the flags and all that. And my wife told her, she said, Stevie, if by chance you trip, you just got to roll to the side because you've got 300-pound football players running right behind you. So just if you happen to drop, just roll, drop and roll, drop and roll.
Drop and roll with the tide. Stephen Curtis Chapman, always a joy catching up with you. Thank you for the time today.
Thank you, Rob. Always good to see you, buddy, and hear from you. Appreciate your text messages occasionally when we text back and forth, and can't wait to see you and all of you there in just a few weeks.
Rob and Liz,
his morning crew.
SpaceX happened not too long ago.
I know 4 people go to space. Had some hiccups.
Yeah, the toilet wasn't working well. The Wi-Fi was horrible. The microwave wasn't working, so they ate cold pizza. We're not lying here.
In space.
This happened. This genuinely happened. It's Rob and Liz, his radio. So they're doing some upgrades. They're going to upgrade the toilet on SpaceX.
Thankfully.
You would think Elon Musk would have had a nice toilet for everybody.
Yeah.
But he didn't. And so the cooking was not well. Literally, they ate cold pizza.
Yeah, thankfully, they were only there really a couple of days, so it wasn't like, you can make it a couple of days on cold pizza. It's fine.
And he promised, listen, I will upgrade the space toilet.
I think that's the biggest takeaway is the toilet doesn't work
in space.
But it's not like they have a regular maintenance crew that goes in every afternoon before 3 o'clock before check-in.
Listen, these people paid how much to go into space?
Yeah, exactly. So did these civilians pay? I can't remember, or if they were just chosen.
Wow. Well,
I can't remember.
I guess if you're chosen, if it was a free flight, you shouldn't complain.
I think you always, no matter what, can complain about the toilet not working. I think that's a thing.
So next time there's a space travel with ordinary people that are not astronauts, they're going to fix some things. I hope this doesn't happen to astronauts.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't have happened to them, but yes, I mean, those that train their whole lives and
should not be uncomfortable in the space station for them.
Now, what's really bad, they didn't leave a mint on the pillow.
Rob and Liz,
his morning crew.
Let's say somebody handed you $3,000 and a travel agent and said, set up your own vacation the way you want it. Just work with them. You got $3,000. Where would you go? Well, you're going to win that from his radio. It's a vacay your way. Hi, it's Rob and Liz.
Yeah, it is part of our first day giveaway. Thanks to Faith Wireless for helping us out with that. But man, this is going to be so much fun. You know what really excites me about all of this is the travel agent. Takes the stress off of someone trying to plan where to go.
Liz would know because she set up a trip not too long ago.
Oh.
She was stressing. That was tough.
Well, especially when you're trying to make sure that everybody has the best time possible. So this travel agent going to take all that stress. Yes.
A pro.
Exactly. You don't have to worry about a thing. We give you the money.
Working
and the
for
travel
you.
agent.
Isn't that nice? It's a vacay your way. And here's the thing. Because you win the vacay your way, you are also helping people find hope in Jesus. Share-a-thon's coming up in less than a month now. It's October 19th. We'll be giving this vacay your way away on the first day of our Share-a-thon, October 19th. But you can pre-register now by giving a gift of support to help bring the hope of Jesus to people.
Yeah, and all you have to do to get involved in this and go ahead and jump on it, give us a kickstart, is text the word vacay to 800-447-7234. Tap the My His Radio app or just go to hisradio.com.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Evidently, there are some cities in the country that are more caffeinated. They love their coffee more than anywhere else in the country. And I kind of get it. Okay, so I did look at the list, and there's only one southern city that's even in like the top 15 or whatever. It's Atlanta.
Atlanta,
Georgia.
Okay.
Love their coffee.
Can I guess the top one?
Yeah.
I'm going to guess Seattle.
No, actually, it is
What?
not. No,
The home of coffee?
Number
Seattle's best, Starbucks, all out of Atlanta, out of Seattle?
Yeah, it's where Starbucks started. I mean, are you kidding me? But no, Portland is number 2. San Francisco is number 1.
I thought that they were great in rice-a-roni.
Oh, you would think they
It's
live
the
in the
San
rice-a-roni
Francisco treat.
Yeah, no, they love their coffee. There's 528 coffee houses in San Francisco.
Oh, is that all it takes? You just got to have a lot of coffee houses?
You got to have a lot of coffee houses that are in business and thriving, I guess. And then, but that's for there's one coffee house for just over 1,000 people. That's a lot of coffee houses, a lot of different.
Really? That's a lot of people in a coffee house.
Well, yeah, but they're just saying, I mean, that includes kids too. And, so
Still a
kids
lot of
aren't-
people.
kids
I don't
aren't
want to
going
go to
in.
a coffee house and there's 1,000 people in it.
Oh, no.
I'd
they're
walk
not.
away.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
You might like a car and you're like, I wish I could get that car. It's just out of my scope. I would like a Ferrari one day,
Yeah.
a red Ferrari. Not going to happen. I get
The
that.
bank says no.
But I can still, dream. And then Liz wants one of this dude's car that was in the James Bond movie, this Aston Martin dude.
Aston Martin. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know who he is. I don't follow the Bond films.
That's not a he.
But I
it's
don't
car.
know his car. And you want his car.
I want any of the Aston Martin cars. They're gorgeous.
Well, what does he own?
What do you mean, what does he own?
You want his car. What does he own?
Oh,
What
no,
kind of
it's
cars
not-
does he
it's not
drive?
a ca-
Like Tom Selleck back in what do you call it? I
Top Gun,
forgot-
Days of Thunder.
No, the show.
Mission Impossible.
The show. You're throwing me off.
I'm sorry.
Tom Selleck.
Oh, you said Tom Cruise. Yeah.
Oh, I meant
Yeah.
Selleck.
Yeah, and Magnum PI.
Yeah.
Not the
So
Ferrari.
the red Ferrari. Yeah. So what does this Aston dude drive?
No, so Aston Martin is the name of the type of vehicle.
Really?
Yeah, just
never
like
heard of it.
Just like Tesla. You've never heard of an Aston Martin?
No.
Oh, well, super expensive. Like up there with Lamborghini. Oh, what's the other one? Bugatti.
Okay. Well, then this is answering a lot of questions
Okay.
because now they have a car version for kids of this Aston Martin thing. Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you can afford it. It's not like you go
Really?
into a Toys R Us.
Oh, I thought that's the way they were. Oh, okay.
It's
So
not
how
like
much-
you go in there and get one of those cars for your kids and they drive off.
Not
That's like
$200.
it's not $200, which that can, break a bank.
Oh,
$200.
sure, yeah.
This one is more like $123,000.
For a kid's car?
Well, I think because dad can fit in it too in the passenger seat.
Oh, okay.
So you got the kid,
Okay.
the
But still,
child,
$123,000.
and dad sitting next to the child, driving around this Aston Martin thing.
And which
it's
one
an
is it?
old throwback looking thing. It's like they said it originally came out in Thunderfall.
Thunderball.
Yeah, that one. And that was the first movie it came out in.
So that was
one.
like in the 60s, but that
It came out in
car-
several other movies, right?
Yeah.
The Bond series.
Right, because I am not a big Sean Connery James Bond fan. So I was more like
Before
later,
her time.
way before my time. But Skyfall, which was out, a decade ago or something?
Can you tell she likes the movies?
Like, I I love Skyfall. That was one of my favorites. But that car, it was like they found it in a warehouse, or they found like it had a tarp on it.
So the short
So
of the story
pristine.
is that it was in that movie too.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I am going into that movie way too deep. I know.
She about gave us the plot. so now it's a kid version, and this Aston Martin dude is now.
It's not a dude.
Well, anyway, it's a kid car now.
Yes.
For $123,000.
Yeah, no, it's still not happening. It's still not happening.
No, it's happened.
Well, I mean, for us,
I don't want it.
oh, I do. I don't want the kid's car. I want the actual.
She wants
which
the
is,
real car.
It's like $1 million.
Oh.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
The Lizz's Ugly Bakery. Can I ask?
Yeah.
These are cake pops.
They are.
I understand that. What character is this guy?
It's a scarecrow because I
Wait.
wanted to do for fall.
A scarecrow?
Yeah, for fall.
Wait. This really?
Yeah, what's. So it's got a
Looks
little
like the
face.
Pied Piper to me. Or
What? Okay,
got a
so
nice little hairdo.
So I will say that I took a picture before I put the hair and the little hat, which I made the hat, by the way. I took a picture of it and sent it to my daughter last night, and she said, "Oh, those are so cute. Is that Charlie Brown?" I was like,
I can see that.
Charlie Brown?
But now with hair and a hat.
Yeah.
This is, yeah.
It's a scarecrow.
Yeah,
Listen, my artistic ability is juvenile at best.
And look, well, they look good.
And I mean toddler.
I just didn't get scarecrow out of it.
Really?
No, okay, listen. Okay, let's, Jake, let's say you never heard that this cake pop was a scarecrow. What did you think?
Yeah, this is definitely a snowman
It's
list.
a snowman.
A snowman?
This is a snowman. Everybody's gonna see it and they're gonna agree. It looks like a
Snowman.
snowman.
It's not a snowman.
Ben,
Yes.
what'd you think? First saw it, you thought, what was it?
It looked like a snowman also, I agree, but it looked like he's going through his emo phase.
What? Oh, his has hair in its eyes. Okay, I follow you now. Okay.
Ninja.
I agree with the whole snowman thing.
Okay, I see it.
Okay, so I'm ahead of winter.
Yeah.
Scarecrows in Alaska. There we go.
Okay, anybody try theirs yet?
Take a big bite. It's pumpkin spice, by the way, and this is such a fun little activity to do with your kids because you put little gloves on the kids and let them tear apart the cake, smush the icing into it, and that's how you make a cake pop.
Okay, this is Ninja. Is this your first or second Liz's Ugly Bakery, Ninja?
This is my first.
Oh, okay. Well, hey, let's go first.
Yeah.
What do you think? How's it taste?
It tastes really good. I was kind of scared to eat the smile because he's got a smile on his face.
He is happy.
I ate
He's
the back.
happy until you bite into him.
Yeah. And then, he's sweating, yeah, because he knows he's going to be eaten.
Okay, Jake.
Oh, I think this slaps.
Okay, there you go.
That's a good thing.
That is
I
a
know
good
that
thing.
from my
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
It's like gingerbread, low
Okay.
key.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Our intern, Ben.
I agree with the previous statement. I also think that it slaps.
All right. Let
I'm
me
so
try.
proud.
Uh-huh.
So the artistic ability is not there. Oh, no.
Well, I can't even bite into it.
Yours is the biggest by far.
Oh, I literally cannot get my mouth around this thing to take a bite.
Really?
Seriously.
Okay, take the hat off and go at it from the top. So the hat's
Oh, the
made-
hat is not in.
What?
I almost ate the hat.
You can. It's chocolate.
Oh, I just broke the hat.
You didn't just break the hat.
I still can't bite into this thing.
You got to. Well, you did
The
get some of the
frosting's
icing.
nice.
Yeah, it's cream cheese frosting.
All right, so
Which is all
Liz's Ugly Bakery. It's the Scarecrow Snowman with a chocolate hat.
My guy's head is all gone.
Her recipe is on the website, hisradio.com. Just click on the Rob and Liz blog. You will see it right there, Liz's Ugly Bakery.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Do you feel like the work week got a little longer over the past year and a half or so? You feel like it?
No, not really.
No?
I feel like I'm working harder, but not longer.
Okay, so people evidently we are working 10% longer, more time, not necessarily harder, but somebody did some research, took some polls, that kind of thing, and found out that people are working more hours, but they're not necessarily getting as much done. Because think about when you're at home working. Okay?
Oh, this is the whole virtual thing.
Yes.
Yep.
If you're at home working, home office, kid comes in, Mom, what's for lunch? Or honey, where'd I put my keys? All this kind
A lot of disruptions.
Exactly. And so we're all dealing with that kind of thing because even if you have an office, an actual office, you're probably also taking a lot of that at home as people are working different schedules. But also, like, our schedules have changed a lot over the last year and a half because the kids are sometimes virtual, sometimes not, and this kind of thing. So, yes, we're working more hours, but we're not necessarily as productive is what all the research says.
I wonder if you would give that person who you're talking about who's doing virtual, appears to be working longer hours, if you would do a time punch clock, a time card, and when you punch out, when you do the extra stuff and punch back in, if it'd be the same amount of work.
That would be good to know to see if I feel like I'm more productive at home on certain things. And then there are certain things that I get more done actually here.
When I had my health scare and I was at home literally working 4.5 months, I would have to pause because I needed to rest, but then I would pick back up later. So the times that I would have to lay down and just take a nap because my body couldn't take anymore, I would consider I'm not working now, but 2 hours later I'd be back in my home studio working again.
So I wonder if when they were talking to people about this, if they were punching out for that nap, as you're saying.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
Liz was just sharing about 10% longer for the workday?
Yeah.
Because of virtual people?
Work week.
Though the whole week?
Yeah.
10%, not every day.
No, like 2% per day. But still. But they're saying we're nowhere near as productive.
It's like milk. 2%.
I know, exactly.
2%.
Yeah.
So starting to think about change that's happened for you at 800-447-7234. How about a good change for you, Maya?
For me personally is slowing down. I made a very concerted effort to buy a book about really killing hurry in my life, like the rush and the adrenaline and always feeling like I'm a little bit late. Slowing down and enjoying my life, looking around me and living in the right now and not for the future, which I really struggle with because everything in me wants to multitask and go fast and get a lot done.
I still get you, Maya. Oh, my word, that's my life.
Right.
Just go, 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 go. Never slow down.
And there's some people that have a really hard time, and I think I'm that way. I do think you're that way, that it's hard to pump the brakes a little bit.
Yeah.
You get a little, I don't want to say anxious, but edgy, maybe on the edge of your seat.
There's
Like,
so much going on.
Why am I sitting
Just
here?
Just kind of slow down. Maya, breathe. I like your change.
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I would not pay to have this opportunity.
Yeah, because
Quote,
you do
unquote.
have to pay. So what Liz is referring to is that now people can become a Disney expert. They're 50 years old, right?
Yeah.
And so Disney's like, okay, you want to learn about Disney? There's a lot of lessons that you can learn throughout the years of what we've learned to run Disney World. So we got a $400 course for you so you can be a Disney expert and learn the magical things that we've learned in the past 50 years.
Is this like you learn about what goes on underground? This is behind the scenes kind of thing?
Interactive lessons about Disney.
Is there anything you can do with this if they give you a degree at the end of it?
A degree in Disney.
You never know.
Do you get a bachelor's? Do you get the master's? I'm working on my associates of being an expert at Disney.
Going to graduate school for Disney.
Yeah.
I don't
It sounds like it would be, if somebody had the time and the money, it sounds like it would be pretty interesting because they do a lot. I mean, one thing that I've learned is low man out. Low ride out, basically. Not man, but low ride out. So at Disney, the most underperforming ride at Disney gets an overhaul or it's done completely. It's gone.
Oh. Wait, is Haunted Mansion still there?
I have no idea.
Because I don't like that ride, and I've always wondered, how is it still there? I don't.
Yeah.
So
it must perform pretty well.
It must. Okay, so now I get where you're going. It makes sense.
Yeah.
To move the ones that aren't working.
Yeah.
On out of there.
And so for me, it's like, okay, if something's not working in life, why am I still hanging on to this thing? That's biblical too. Why are you hanging on to things when you don't need to hang on to it?
Exactly.
You know?
Wow. Well,
if it's not your gift, if it's not your calling, why?
Why are you still there? I have several friends, one family in particular, that must go to Disney every other month. Every other month.
They don't need to take a course.
Exactly. They're already the experts.
Right? Yeah. They must have the season passes.
They must have. They live Disney. It's incredible to watch. Going to Disney again?
Rob and Liz.
His morning crew.
I wonder how you would set it up. I mean, your very own vacation that you'd set up yourself if money was really not an issue, because it kind of is not when you win from His Radio the Vacay Your Way with the first day of Share-a-thon giveaway.
Wouldn't that be so much fun? Somebody gives you the money, takes care of the details, and you just say, okay, I want to go to the beach, an exotic beach, or the mountains, or the Midwest, or wherever. And all of that is completely planned for you.
Because you already know the type of vacation you'd like to go on. And the travel agent and $3,000 is a part of it. Thanks to Faith Wireless. I tell you, one of our business ministry partners. Here's the thing. It's a Vacay Your Way. You could win it from His Radio. And at the same time, you'll help His Radio share the hope of Jesus with people.
Yeah, and you know, you've heard a song that touched you exactly when you needed it. That is part of the ministry of His Radio, and you're going to help be able to bring that to somebody else that needs to hear that song at that perfect time.
That's because you're supporting us during Share-a-thon when we raise the operational support for this listener-supported radio station. So here's the thing. All you have to do right now, one of the ways to win, is to give your gift now, and you'll be pre-registered for the Vacay Your Way from His Radio.
And it's so easy. You text the word vacay to 800-447-7234. Get a hisradio.com or tap the My His Radio app.